Hi, Serge. Tonight is week 9 in quarantine, and for all of us who are doing online Serge. And I just want to start tonight by saying a huge thank you to Eden and Sarah for bringing us our devotion last week. It was just the perfect and much needed reminder, for me at least, that God is the ultimate waymaker. And I feel like I desperately needed to hear that message last week. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much. But we are going to continue to take a break from our unit on autonomy tonight to celebrate another occasion. It is officially senior night at Serge. So if you are not a senior, don't worry, this message is still for you. But if you are a senior, I just want to give you a heads up before we go any further. Tonight, we are not going to talk about all that you've missed out on. This isn't going to be a message of grief and despair. Know that I am grieving, and I do feel a lot of despair for you in this season. But I think right now is not a time to talk about all that you've lost. Right now is a time to talk about how far you've come. And that's what we're going to do tonight. So, I'm a millennial. Plot twist. But I am on the cusp of this generational shift that probably started occurring maybe when I was 9 or 10. And I know you've probably all seen these memes floating around on Facebook. Right, so these are the memes that are trying to shame people who are parents my age for giving every kid a participation trophy and seemingly trying to denounce the hard work that goes into getting first place or winning the race. I guess the real difference between my generation as parents and some of the older generations is that we value celebrating the small victories and the journey of getting to where we're going. Now, that's not to say that our older relatives aren't wonderful, supportive people who have raised us and stood by us in the midst of all that we've gone through. That is certainly true. I'm not here to bash the boomers, but I do want to make a point to mention that while the older generation may not understand fully why it is we choose to celebrate these everyday or seemingly small victories, that there is a symphony of voices, of people that are a part of our church and our families and our communities that are celebrating victory with all of you tonight. So these are the words that I hope you hear. To our seniors, we are celebrating you. We are thinking about how far you've come, how incredible your accomplishments have been leading to this point. And we are recognizing the fact that if anyone in the history of the world has ever deserved a participation trophy, it's you. But to all of our other sweet Sergies that aren't quite at graduation day or senior year yet, this is still a message for you. We're celebrating you too. You, just like the seniors ahead of you, have faced an uncertain world. Months of unexpected lockdown. You've been expected in the midst of it to rise and to overcome, to do e-learning, to follow the rules, and to figure out how to live out this reality without letting it break your hearts. Tonight, we're celebrating you too. And tonight, we're also going to talk about a passage in Scripture that likewise includes a celebration. I know I say this every week, but if you have been a part of Wesley for any amount of time, I'm sure you have heard this story from Miss Kathy or sometime in a Sunday school room. But it's the parable of the lost son. It comes to us in Luke chapter 15 with verses 11 through 32. I'm just going to pick out the key parts of the story and then I'll paraphrase the rest here. In verse 11, it starts by saying, Jesus continued, "There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, 'Father, give me my share of the estate.' So he divided his property between them. Now the younger son goes out, and as Scripture says, he squanders his wealth and pretty much kind of makes a mess out of his life. I imagine he's walking around saying to himself, yeah, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, right? And he's gone for a while, and while he's gone, his father and his family, they grieve him, not knowing if he's going to come back. And at the end of the story, he comes home. And you know what happens next. His father organizes this huge party. It's a celebration of his homecoming, where everyone rejoices, and there's a big feast, and they party all night long. Let me say this, that here we have the very first example in Scripture of the very first participation trophy ever given to someone. This man, this father, has his son return home to him after a rough journey far away. But he sees him, and he looks at him, and he says, I'm just so glad that you made it here. and I'm going to throw a party just for you. He's saying to his son, I don't care what's just happened to you. You are good. You are so good because you're made and loved by God. And I am celebrating that you get to be mine, a member of this family. We're celebrating that you are here and that you've come so far. We're celebrating all that you will do. We're going to celebrate you. And that is a victory. So tonight, I hope you hear that. We are celebrating you. We are celebrating that you are a part of this family. We are celebrating that you've already come so far. You've done so much. You've been so much to so many people, and we rejoice in that. And my seniors, we are celebrating that after all you've been through, you made it here. And you did it with grace. You did it when it felt like the world was going up in flames around you. You did it when it would have been easy to fall apart. You did it when you probably wanted to give up, but you did it. And that is a beautiful thing. And that is something that is worthy of a great celebration. That is something incredible, and you deserve all the goodness in the world because of it. So we've spent this week and will continue this week to show our seniors some love by talking about what our prayer is for them. And my prayer for you, for every one of you, not just the seniors, is that you find ways every single day of your lives to celebrate the victory of living and of loving and of coming as far as you have. And the reality is that these aren't easy times. We're all turned upside down, and the things we thought we knew are no longer within reach. But just like in our scripture today, the one where the lost son returns home after tragedy and squander, as they put it, they still celebrate. There is still, even then, a reason to rejoice because the son is still good and he's still God's, and there's hope. There's hope for him, there's hope for what he will do, and hope because of all that he's already done. And the same is true for you. Even though this journey looks nothing like you thought it would, there's still hope. There's still hope for what you will do, hope for what you've already done. And we are celebrating for you and with you and all around you because of all the victories we have already seen you overcome. We are celebrating because of how far you've come. And we're celebrating for how far you will go. We are celebrating because you are ours, a part of this family and this ministry, and you complete us by being a part of it. We are celebrating because of how far you've come, and because that is an incredible victory. And we're celebrating because you are loved by a God greater than all that you are going through. And that is a reason to rejoice. So tonight is for you, our seniors. You are loved. You are enough. Your story matters. And no matter where you may go from here, you will always have a place among us. So now there's a special message from some of the people in our church that want to celebrate with you.
I am, and always will be, celebrating you and your victories.
I'm celebrating you! Woohoo! I'm celebrating for you, Serge!
Hey Serge, just a reminder, we're celebrating you. We care about you, we love you, and we're ready to celebrate the big things, like graduation, and the small things, like you got out of bed today before noon. Love you!
I'm rejoicing in your victories, and I'm celebrating you.
Oh, hey Serge, didn't see you there. I'm celebrating you.
I'm celebrating for you, Serge.
I'm celebrating you.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm just celebrating for you.
We are celebrating you, Serge! We'll see you soon. Have a good week.